I am absolutely certain that generations from now, we will be able to look back and tell our children that this was the moment when the rise of the oceans began to slow and our planet began to heal.
This was a big moment when President Obama was elected. Came in with a mandate. He campaigned on this and he got people excited about this. There was no sneaking this issue past anybody. This was on everyone's radar. Everyone knew it was coming. We thought we were part of making history.
I asked this Congress to send me legislation that places a market-based cap on carbon pollution and drives the production of more renewable energy in America. That's what we need.
The president began pushing a climate bill that would radically reduce carbon emissions, known as the Cap and Trade Bill.
Koch Industries has been called the biggest company you never heard of. The sprawling giant includes pipelines, petrochemicals, asphalt plants, trading floors. Based in Wichita, Kansas, it sells everything from gasoline to beef.
In 2009, Koch Industries is the second largest privately held company in the United States, whose annual sales are bigger than that of Goldman Sachs, U.S. Steel, and Facebook combined.
Koch's core business is distribution. It owns 37,000 miles of international pipeline.
Koch is just deeply embedded in the fossil fuel infrastructure. It trades, ships, and transports natural gas, oil, gasoline. So when you think about anything that would reduce demand or increase the price for fossil fuels, it's a tremendous threat to Koch's business.
Koch Industries was owned by two brothers, David, who died in 2019, and Charles.
This was a moment when the potential for passing climate change regulation was more real than it has ever been in U.S. history. Full stop. That's why you saw the Koch political machine kick into high gear.
Hoffman was given the job of assessing what the climate bill would mean for Koch Industries. He met with a team of senior Koch lobbyists.
I was invited to this meeting. The discussion quickly turned from the possibility that this bill might pass and what we should be doing to prepare for it, to a discussion about how we're going to prevent it from passing, who are vulnerable Republicans that we need to target to make sure that they don't vote for this bill. We cannot let this bill pass. We won't let this bill pass, and we have to do everything in our power to prevent it from passing.
Welcome to Americans for Prosperity Foundation.
The Koch brothers poured money into the effort to kill the bill. The right-wing advocacy group Americans for Prosperity spearheaded the effort.
5 years ago, my brother Charles and I provided the funds to start the Americans for Prosperity. And it's beyond my wildest dreams how AFP has grown into this enormous organization.
Backed with Koch money, AFP had begun rallying opposition on the ground across the country.
Today's axis of evil is the Communist Chinese Party, American woke activism, and the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Those three elements together are designed to drive down America's productivity. That's what's at stake. It became very obvious that the Republican Party was not prepared or willing to fight the fight. So we had a multifaceted, hard-hitting approach, pressuring Republicans who were weak-kneed and Democrats who were vulnerable, whose states would be impacted by this. If you're going to go into a war like this was, the first thing you need to do is get your troops marching, get them energized. And that's what we did in that summer.
This was a volatile time in American life. We had just had the biggest economic collapse since the Depression. The Tea Party movement was animated by a lot of genuine political passion. Koch very cunningly stepped in and channeled that energy to Koch's end. Koch took that passion and also told these people, oh, hey, by the way, the government is trying to regulate greenhouse gases, which is another form of socialist tyranny, and they're trying to take your country away from you.
We're gonna kill the bill! Kill that bill! Kill that bill!
We stopped the bill from even going to a vote in the US Senate. So it died its own death. And at that point, everybody knew it was over. Back to the drawing board for the progressive left.
But the Kochs didn't stop there. They now set about removing from office any Republican politicians who'd previously supported climate action by backing rival Republican candidates.
Global warming. It's all a hoax. You get your just desserts.
This is where you saw the perfection of the primary strategy, whereby Koch would give money to a primary opponent to take out a congressperson that had crossed Koch on climate change.
Later that year, Republicans won a historic majority in the midterm elections. Many of the victorious candidates had signed an Americans for Prosperity pledge, opposing climate change legislation.
The achievement of 2010, the newly elected Republicans, the vast majority of which signed our carbon pledge, was to put an end to that whole climate change argument since then till now. It's been a dead issue.
Are you proud of what Americans for Prosperity has achieved this year in the election?
You bet I am. Man, oh man. We're going to do more too in the next couple of years, you know?